Jets Nation, how we feeling this morning? Third round pick, Jachai Polite. We finally got the edge rusher, and we got a guy that has first round talent. I love the pick. I love the upside of the pick. When you listen to some scouts that talk about him, it's not necessarily a character issue. It seems like more of an immaturity issue or things like that, or just learning to do it more consistently, learning to buy into a program, whatever it might be. There's no denying that the talent is there, and ultimately in the third round, I feel like that's what you look for. You look for a guy that has that first or second round ability, but slid back because of whatever reason. And I don't think that the off-the-field concerns are that big of a deal where I wouldn't have taken him even in the second round if he was there. This is a legitimate top-flight pass rusher that the Jets have finally added, and he's only 21 years old, so he's only going to get better, especially with some help from Greg Williams. So I love the pick there in the third round, their first of their third-round picks. And then in the end of the third round, I was hoping for Connor McGovern. He gets picked by the Cowboys, 2 picks in front of the Jets. That sucked. It also sucked that Jenkins and McCoy were off the board, so it looks like the Jets struck out on center. And if you want to label that as the only major miss for McCagnon this offseason, I'm fine with that. They did have a chance to go after Mitch Morse or Matt Paradis in free agency. If they didn't think those guys were worth, $10 million, or they were concerned with the injury history, whatever it might be, I could understand it, because you got legitimate all-pro caliber players with C.J. Mosley and Le'Veon Bell, who are also in their prime. You also added guys like Crowder and Osemele, so I'm not going to complain too much, about the fact that they didn't get an all-pro center to go along with everything else that they got this offseason. But center does need to be addressed, whether it's, Steve Wisniewski signing a veteran or something like that, or still drafting somebody with the first pick in day 4 or in round 4. I can see something like that. But center needs to be addressed. I still think they need to add a corner as well. And then we'll see what happens, because I like the way this roster's shaping up right now. The offensive line, I would think, is going to be set after they add a center. The second of their 2 third-round picks, Chuma Edoga, nice tackle out of USC. He's got some experience with Sam Darnold, which I think they like. If you look at PFF, he was tied for first as their top-rated pass blocker. Anthony Becht on Twitter, he was talking about how he's got some of the best feet in this draft. So I think that's a very high upside pick with a guy who does have starter potential. I've seen a lot of mocks that had Edoga possibly going as high as round 2. So I do think that they got a very high upside tackle there as well. So, hey, listen, I'm not complaining too much about the draft. I know people are, of course, on draft day always going to be complaining about something. And, the rumors, of course, about the friction supposedly between McCagnon and Gase, that's only going to stir it up a little bit more. I don't buy any of it. Manish shot those rumors down pretty quick. If you guys were paying attention on Twitter, said it was completely false. I don't understand how a story like that could possibly be true. Adam Gase even said so much, when he took the job, that he had a lot of personnel decision in Miami, and he didn't really want that or need that here. And Chris Johnson even said that, or implied basically, that McCagnon was going to have more power this time around, that they were changing the power structure a little bit. So the only way you can kind of read into that is that McCagnon's going to have a little bit more say on certain personnel decisions that he didn't have under Bowles, where they were kind of on equal footing. And that's the right thing to do. That's the right thing to do. Let your general manager make the calls. Let him pick the talent. Let him scout the draft picks. And let Adam Gase work with the talent that he gives him. Obviously, you have to work together. I do think there has to be some kind of, talking and, where McCagnon's picking guys that fit Adam Gase's system or that fit Greg Williams' defense. You can't just, pick your own guys. It has to be guys that do fit what you're trying to accomplish as a team and as a system. But, man, it's just funny watching how many people jumped on all those rumors, within like a half hour. And, they got shot down pretty quick. I know some people are still talking about it, saying they have inside sources that, there's friction. I don't buy any of it. I don't see how, within 2 months on the job, Adam Gase would try to pull some kind of power play like that, or why the Jets would be considering firing their general manager after he just spent $100 million and looks like he nailed another draft early on. The Quentin Williams pick, they got the best player available. according to most scouts, and then you add an edge rusher and a potential left tackle, maybe even a right tackle, with the next third-round pick that you had. So I don't know why people are complaining or what there is to be upset about, or why we would want Maccagnan out now after he's done all this, but it is what it is. I'm happy. I'm enjoying life. I can't wait for training camp to finally get here in a few months. Looking forward to the rest of the draft today. Hakeem Butler, 3rd pick, 4th round. Give it to me. Wide receiver, 1st round potential. I would absolutely love that. That would be the icing on the cake for this draft. Hope Maccagnan nails it. If you go corner, you got a guy like Julian Love who make Tyson Roush happy over at Notre Dame. But we'll see what happens. Go Jets. Maccagnan, knock it out of the park again. Let's go.